as well. We're now joined by Ben Bolch. He joins us. The LA Times covers UCLA. Ben, thanks for your time. How dicey was it getting? And after the Kentucky shocker yesterday evening, how much was maybe UCLA, or how much were the fans at UCLA starting to sweat?
Oh, it was really dire. You know, down 8 with less than 8 minutes to play, getting outplayed in pretty much every facet. Really struggling with the quickness and fearlessness of Akron last night. I mean, I'll be honest, I thought they were headed for a loss. So, yeah, it was about as scary as you could get if you're a UCLA fan.
Ben, do you expect to see this UCLA offense struggle like it did last night against St. Mary's?
No, I think I think St. Mary's is a quality team, but they don't have quite the quickness. They've got a little bit better length than Akron did. But the two things that have been UCLA's kryptonite have been quick teams like Akron and really tall teams like Arizona. So St. Mary's doesn't really fit into either of those molds. So I think we'll see a better showing. And let's face it, UCLA also just missed a lot of shots that they normally make last night. So I think UCLA will have a much better showing at St. Mary's.
How much was, and it's UCLA, for God's sakes, they're the best of all time when it comes to winning national championships, although not as many of late because not many people have that kind of stretch. Nobody's ever had the stretch of Coach Wooden. But my question is, Coach Wooden, how much pressure was there on this team because of the run they made, the game with Gonzaga, everyone coming back, and then also matching that?
Yeah, I think that there was, a little bit of tendency to maybe be a little bit tight. They certainly were not playing a loose brand of basketball last night. But on the flip side, they had the experience of being in so many close games and knowing what it takes to win in those moments. And that's what really allowed them to prevail in the second half when things got really kind of dicey. They made the plays they needed to. Tiger Campbell stepped up huge with 8 of their last 10 points.
Do you, and again, Johnny Jizang didn't have his classic night last night, and percentage-wise, he's going to get right because he's just fantastic.
Well, I don't know that you can assume that. I think if you're a UCLA fan, you're hoping to see that, but he hasn't really hit a good rhythm since he went down with that sprained ankle late season against Oregon, missed about 2.5 games, and really has not found his shooting rhythm since he's come back. So if they can get that from him, that will kind of take them to the next level, and they're going to need that against a team like St. Mary's that plays really disciplined basketball, really smart basketball.
What did UCLA learn about themselves last night, if anything?
I think that they learned that you can't take anything for granted. The one thing that was unusual for them last night was that they were a heavy favorite, and that's the first time that that's happened in the NCAA tournament under Mick Cronin. And I think that they did come out a little bit flat, but all credit to Akron. They played a tremendous game. But I think that, UCLA learned that, if you're the favorite, you can't take anything for granted. But, going forward, it's almost a pick'em game with St. Mary's, and it'll probably be that way, or UCLA might be the underdog after that. So that scenario is probably out the window.
What was the reaction? And I know they were about to take care of their only business, and there's kind of known this East region as the Blue Bloods with North Carolina, Kentucky, UCLA, defending national champion Baylor, among some others. What was the reaction around the arena when that Kentucky score came out?
Oh, it was awesome. It was actually pretty funny because they were showing the game on the video board during the Indiana St. Mary's game and during timeouts. And then when they came back to the actual footage of the game going on, people were booing because they were so into the St. Peter's Kentucky game. And then, it finished right when UCLA was warming up, and that was some of the loudest cheering of the night. It was really amazing, and that's one of my favorite things about March Madness is moments like that when people on the other side of the country watching a game kind of get really excited and come together for a moment like that. It was a lot of fun.
When looking at that region with the teams I mentioned, was there the same respect from UCLA fans? They were at the Final Four in Indianapolis when they played Gonzaga. Baylor eventually hammered Gonzaga. Is there that same respect from a UCLA for what Baylor's done and who they are?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, defending national champion, that you don't have to sell yourself in any way, I think. So, I think that when they saw that bracket, there was probably a little bit of relief in some quarters, but just matchup-wise, because Arizona, as I mentioned, has that link that's kind of tough for UCLA, and then Gonzaga has already beaten them twice in a year's span. But certainly Baylor, is right in that mix, and it would be they would have their full attention. I'll just put it that way.
Ben, we appreciate it. Thanks for your time. UCLA advances with that win against Akron, or late game last night. We appreciate your time. St. Mary's is coming up next.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Ben Bolch, Los Angeles.